Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Happy Saturday to you. We're taking a look here at Chainlink. We got this request from one of our community members here. Let's see here. I believe that was CryptTwins. Thank you very much for the request, of course. And I can totally see why this thing is cranking. We actually broke through our previous resistance level here from before. Keep in mind these are some older Fibonacci retracement levels. We'll draw out some new ones and take a quick look at big picture. See how much of a pullback we're going to have if this were to pull back. Keep in mind, a lot of money just came into this coin, so it's best not to just jump right into a short position because of that. We want to look at a few key factors and kind of make sure we understand where we're at. So if you are new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I just love to teach people to trade. So if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. I have a trading academy, community, and signals group. Signals are fully automated, so if you want to decide to auto follow them, we got some nice profits here. KNC trade, that was a nice long. We got a Solana long here as well at 93%. Injective 74%, ZRX, that's actually a short, took 64% in 2 days. So again, some pretty nice profits here in the last couple of days. Really cool stuff there. Thanks again to my community members for the praise, of course. Very, very happy it's working well for you. And we all learn and grow together. So again, I'd never recommend just straight up following my trades without understanding what goes into it. So be sure to watch through to the end so you understand why I take the trades that I do. Majority of the coins that I review on these videos are coins that I basically trade with my community. Okay. So with Chainlink, is this worth trading? Well, we got to find out a few things. First of all, massive amount of volume to break through that little resistance there. We also have some previous volume, of course, increasing where the price action just continued without fault. So if we take a look at previous overextensions, this coin has done it all, right? We saw a 9 here on TD sequential, came up to that resistance shelf, broke through and hit probably another 9. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there we go. Basically 2 9s in a row. You see that? That basically is like 18 to 20 days of continuation to the upside. That's quite a lot, okay? Right now we've got day 1 of continuation to the upside, pretty much, right? So complete reset, if you will, starting over fresh. All the more reason to not consider just jumping into a short, because while it is probably likely overextended, it could actually continue to sustain this price because it broke through that key level resistance. We take a look at the RSI. We just peaked up over 70 on the RSI, and that's commonplace for coins to reject. So keep in mind there is potential for pullback. Not saying that it won't pull back, but it's a little premature to just jump right into a short, in my personal opinion. You take a look at its history, though, it rarely comes up over 70 on the RSI. And anytime it does, this is what happens when it does. So we see a massive decrease there. RSI peaks up, hit 70 right here. We got 70 right here and it continued higher. So you got to keep in mind it's not foolproof. But for the most part, identifying these patterns where the price hits 70 and pulls back, it seems to be pretty consistent. Okay? So again, this little channel that we're stuck in here, unless we can break through this range, we are likely to see the price action pull back. So let's go ahead and define this range here so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. It'll be a little easier on the weekly. So let's go ahead and pull this up just so you can kind of see here. So if we look at the weekly candlestick closures here, we're having difficulty closing above $8.75. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attempts to break above this level and it hasn't closed yet. And that is on the weekly. Keep in mind this weekly chart has about a day and a half left remaining. So hypothetically, the price either breaks above and stays above, or it closes down below again and pulls back. Okay, and we have a decent amount more volume from what I recall than before. Well, not a heck of a lot, but definitely more in the average recent last month versus previous times. Previous times it got overextended. It hits this little resistance there and turns back around, mainly because it didn't have a lot of volume leading into it. So we're starting to build that volume profile. So if we take a quick look here at a few other key factors, such as the volume range, we can kind of see here the most amount of volume is right here at this most recent bounce at about 750, 730. Okay, so we can reaffirm the fact that if the price pulls back to that level, that'll be a strong support level. Okay, so we've got that going for us here. If we take a look, though, at the daily, we want to recognize, though, again, that this level here, right at about 875, 880 as a close approximate, is a pretty important level. So if we hold that level today and tomorrow, we should experience the price action continuing further because we'd have a weekly candlestick closure above previous resistance. And those are some things you want to pay attention to. We can also look at the previous monthly high-low open close, but we can see here that previous month 830 is a support. That'll probably be a likely bouncing point for us here right off of that level. Okay? So again, let's talk about that here in just a minute. right now, let's go ahead and look at some standard indicators on the daily and kind of see what we're looking at here. Got a strong MACD convergence here as well. Another reason not to consider just jumping into a short. We've broken bullish, if you will, and it's definitely a good sign. Last time we broke bullish, of course, we are pretty low on the RSI, and the price action was here at 583, and it didn't look back after it continued higher. Okay, not saying it's going to just go shoot higher from here. There's a stronger likelihood because we've broken through that key level resistance tentatively. Okay, so we need a candlestick closure, weekly candlestick closure above 880 to have any continuation potential for this coin. Also, bear in mind if Bitcoin does sell off and comes back down to 26, 27,000 in the next couple weeks, you could also estimate that this coin is going to do that same thing as well. Keep in mind, this is the last week of the month, roughly, last 10 days. A lot of times coins will start to ramp up near the end of the month just to kind of get a good candlestick closure for the monthly and then hit the reset button first of the month. Okay, regardless of that fact here, last thing we want to look at is the moving averages. We're above all three. Really nothing holding this coin back, right? So truly bullish in every sense of the word. Okay, taking a look at the 4 hour, we can see a similar scenario. We're above all three moving averages. RSI is extremely high at 90. Let's take a look at its history here again once more. When was the last time this coin was at 90 on the RSI? Right here on July 13th. So July 13th, we saw 90 on the RSI. Price inevitably pulled back. It wasn't a tremendous amount, but from top to bottom within about, I would say that's somewhere in the range of about 1 or 2 weeks. Or no, sorry, that's only about 3 or 4 days. Within 4 days, it hit a 10% decrease before it legged up again. Okay, so again, that was when we saw 90 on the RSI. Okay, taking a look previously to that, is there any other circumstance where we saw that? It's pretty much the only outlier there, at least within the recent last year or two. Okay, so this coin has never, it's had very strong difficulty passing this plane that just passed, right? But also, it's never continued higher once it hit 90 on the RSI. In fact, most coins don't necessarily continue much higher because of that. So I would venture to guess this is an overextension. Would you not agree? Comment below if you disagree. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about TD sequential here. We're only at a 4, so hypothetically this could continue much higher. You got to recognize, though, that overextension matters nothing when you have a massive, overbought scenario with the RSI. So to me, a lot of times I'll do a lot of plays based on RSI bouncing off 30 or 70, or in this case 90. It's rare for the price to go much further. It very well could and probably should, but it makes a lot more sense for the price to pull back to at least this level here at about 880 before it legs up again or to consolidate in this range. Okay, so my speculation is we're going to see some consolidation here, or it will leg down potentially to these lower Fibonacci retracement levels. Okay, let's go ahead and update this here as a matter of fact, so we can get better perspective on these levels here. So I'm going to go ahead and send out a playout chart as well. I typically send that out to my Telegram, Twitter, and Discord. If you're not familiar, they kind of look a little something like this, where I kind of give you an estimate on where prices and coins are trending. So we'll go ahead and summarize that there. But for right now, we can expect the price to likely hold above 880. Okay. What I mean by likely is if we can close the weekly above that level, we have a good chance the price is going to continue further. So to me, confirmation of this bullish uptrend is to maintain a price point above 880 and have that be able to maintain itself over the next couple of days. Okay. So once again, finish this week strong at 880 or higher, and the potential for increase is greater. Okay. Just know if we do not close above that level, there's a good chance we will see these three levels potentially retested right there at 836, 812, and 789 or 788. Okay. So those are three levels that we could very well see the price action continue lower to. Taking a look at a MACD, of course, the same scenario there. Let's quickly summarize here with the hourly and kind of see where we're at. And just double check here a few things. So on TD sequential, we hit a 9 on TD sequential already. We're in 1, 2, 3, 4. We're about 4 hours into overtime. Typically, the 4th hour is the reversal time. It's very common for that to occur. If we take a look at the RSI, it's starting to taper off as well. So the truth is here, this coin is absolutely overextended. We take a look at the Ichimoku cloud. It's going to give us all green lights to leave our long position open. So again, mainly extremely important not just to take a short into this, but it is also important to recognize that it does seem very, very overextended. And if we take a look at some fair value gaps here, more specifically in the 4-hour time frame, there is a lot of value here in this coin left to be taken. Now you got to keep in mind, this value here, this fair value gap, they're not just instantly swept. Just because it goes up doesn't mean it has to come down. It may completely go and move on without any recourse. But in time, fair value gaps and CME gaps are typically going to get filled. So in this regard here, we can summarize that Chainlink is pretty strong right now. We want to wait and see if it closes above 880 on the weekly. If it does close above, then the likelihood of further increase is higher, and of course a potential decrease is lower. But if we do close, just say this week below 870, there's a greater chance we're going to see this 0.5, 0.382 level between 810 and about 830 retested. Okay, just to fill that gap and to leg up once more. So once more, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Hopefully that was clear and concise. I jumped around a little bit, but I like to make sure you understand the big picture and why things are the way they are. So thank you again so much for the request here from my community member there at CryptTwins. And if you guys are not part of our Discord, you want to kind of become part of something bigger, jump on over there. We do have a premium option as well, cryptocash.tech, where you can register for our trades. We took an Algorand trade and KNC as well. Those were more recent trades here. So hopefully you can comment below. Let me know your thoughts. I look forward to working with you all. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.